Hello there, nice slice here, coming at you from the Great White North in beautiful British Columbia, Canada. I'm doing a 2 for Tuesday video today, as you could probably tell from having two knives on the table in front of me. Now these are two knives that, once again, I picked up at a flea market. This one was on the table that I picked up, the old Buck 119 that I did a video on last week. And this one I purchased off my regular knife guy at the Cloverdale flea market. So I don't know if any of you recognize what they are right now, but let's have a look at this one first. I saw this sitting there. First glance, I thought it was another Buck alumni. Could I be lucky enough to find two within the same month? But no. This is the Camillus, made in the USA, New York. I did a little bit of research, and that particular tang stamp was used by Camillus from 1989 until the company went bankrupt in 2007. So this company could be just a little over, or this knife could be just a little over 30 years old, or it could be 16 or 17 years old. No way to really tell, but it is stainless steel handle construction, a single blade lockback. It's pinned with a very nice drop point blade on there, and it is in really good condition, and the model number is 864, so I did look that up, and this could be called a silver sword from Camillus, but I did see some examples where there was actually swords crossed as a tang stamp, so I don't know if we should call this a silver sword or not. I will, but I could be wrong on that. It's a very nice little knife. Has a nail nick. Closes up very sleek. I did notice in some of my slip joint knives and folding knives, the very butt end of the blade sticks up at a right angle there, just because of the nature of the construction. When you lock it up, it does go flat against the spring. That is a slip joint, but this one, very elegant. That drops down below the level of the handle. So I really appreciate that. I did notice that on my Buck canoe as well. That right angle doesn't protrude past the handle scale, so it's a nice feature. And here's the alumni that I was referring to. As you can see, the end of the blade does protrude over the handle just a tiny bit on this one. You can see why at first glance I thought maybe it was the same knife until I got up close and realized that it wasn't. But that was a very nice find. I paid 15 Canadian dollars for this knife, so I'm pretty happy with that. I don't have any other Camillus knives, so this is a one and only for me. You can see it shows that it's been used and carried. All the scratches on the handle, as it should be on a stainless steel handle. But the blade itself is in very good condition. It's not beat up at all. The edge is very nice. I used this to slice up my apple at lunch the other day at work. And I also saw this one, and I recognized from the handle that it was a Gerber, but I thought it was a Gerber Sportsman until I got closer, and I realized that it's not. The Sportsman has the brass handle with the wood inlay, and this has brass liners and beautiful ebony wood in very good shape. The handle is in really good shape. A little bit of wear on there, but this one also came with an engraving. I would imagine those are initials, W.FC. So if you want to make up a name for this knife, go right ahead. I haven't done so yet. I noticed on the back, I thought, what is going on there? Is it actually missing parts? Until I realized this is a two-bladed knife with a single back spring. I'd never seen that before. And it does have a primary blade. I believe it's 3 inches long, full flat grind. And it's a straight back on that blade. And here it says Gerber on that side of the tang. And then on the other side it says Portland, Oregon, 97223 USA. And I'll show a little bit of my ignorance here. I thought that was the model number. I kept looking up Gerber, 97223. Then I discovered that is actually the zip code for Oregon, not the model number. But this model is called the Pk-1 Skookum. Pretty cool name, because I think that is a pretty skookum little blade. And you can see primary blade only has the plunge line and the ricasso on one side. Thought that was fairly unique as well. You can see that there. And this blade is in excellent shape as well. But it does have another smaller blade. There it opens up and fills that gap. And this is a very, very thin, slicey blade as well. This is a drop point. There's my fingerprints all over it. Just wipe that up a little bit. I'll let you see the knife opened up. It's quite unique. So I don't have any folders where the blade comes down when it's fully deployed underneath the back spine of the handle. I thought that was pretty cool. And this knife was made between 1973 and 1981, I believe. So this is an old Made in USA Gerber. It does have a little bit of oxidation there, a little tarnish. I can clean that up, I think, no problem. A little bit on the back spacer there. I haven't done anything to try and clean this knife up. It is in the same condition as I found it. But there's not a lot of videos on that particular knife. I couldn't find a lot. I saw a couple for sale, and they were asking, you know, $100 US for it. One I think I saw was $120 US, and this one I paid 20 Canadian. So I think I got myself a good deal there. With that engraving, just makes it more unique in my opinion. This would be a one of a kind now, but I just love that ebony inlay. That is fantastic. And it is also, like I said, a single back spring. I find that quite fascinating, because I did again bring other examples that I have of two-bladed folders, but they all have two back springs. This is a little saddlehorn frost knife called the Black Hills model. And once again, the buck canoe. Again, two back springs on the slip joint. So I thought the one back spring was pretty cool. Makes this knife very slim, and the way they cut that blade and designed that blade so they fit together in that small narrow space. I thought that was pretty cool. So we have the Gerber Pk-1 Skookum and the Camillus 864 Silver Sword. There you have it.